What's going on YouTube? My name is ginj-tcg or Chris, and today I'm back with another rogue deck video. And today's deck is built around the single prize Aegislash. So I was playing Stall a lot, and I'm like, you know, this deck is pretty epic, but I don't know if it's evil enough. I was playing a lot of Mimikyu. Mimikyu was winning me a lot of matches, so I said, you know what's better than Mimikyu? Something that's got even more HP and swings just a bit harder with Shred, and that is Aegislash. So we've got the Mysterious Shield ability, which is the exact same as Mimikyu's ability, where you prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from Pokemon EX and V. Obviously, damage counters don't count, so, you know, like, damage counters from, like, Dragon Ball or Sableye can go through, but that's why we play, what do you call it? Mist Energy, we play 2 copies of, you know, to help prevent that. And then we also have the Hard Bashing attack, where we do 120 damage, and our attack is not affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So essentially, when you look at Pokemon like Cornerstone Ogerpon, which we also play a copy of, we can still attack this Pokemon, even though it has an ability that prevents us from attacking, because we have an ability and it's like whatever, but we have Shred, so we just kind of go through things like that, so we have a decent stall. And Pidgeot control matchup, because of that, you know, we got like a good bit of Shred with that, so it's pretty sweet. Past that, the deck is playing a 4-3-3 Aegislash line, because we're playing Grand Tree as our ace spec. If you haven't played it, it's a super fun ace spec. It's like having a 5th Rare Candy in the deck, essentially. And when you play it with 4 Arven and 2 Corress's Tenacity, we essentially have 6 ways to get out a skip middle evolution type card, which is really sweet. We're also playing the Pidgeot V. I liked Pidgeot, like, EX in this deck, but it was kind of a liability for, like, no reason. So I played Pidgeot V because I feel like oftentimes when we Arven, we could just take Forest Seal Stone and just kind of run fades by just taking 1 card, get rid of Pidgeot, and then we have no liabilities left, because that is a big issue with this deck, is you just want your opponent to just deal with whatever Aegislash you have in play. So, you know, I'm trying to limit what Pokemon are in play. We have that. We've got the Cornerstone Ogerpon, and we do play a Fighting Energy, so we actually could use that in like Charizard matchups to help out a little bit. Past that, though, we are only playing a very limited amount of Pokemon. We've got Cleffa as well as Tatsugiri for just general support to help us get evolved and get going. Past that, the only other attacker in the deck is Aegislash EX, which is a super fun attack for the late game. If you just need like a massive late game sweep, we have Aegislash EX with Peerless Edge, where we do 70 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken. So we can swing, I think it's like 350 if they've taken 5, you know, like we're swinging for essentially 1-shot damage on anything, which is kind of nice. We're also playing Luxurious Cape to just beef up our Aegislash. And although Luxurious Cape does kind of give up an extra prize card, having a 250 single prize Aegislash is just the most busted thing imaginable. And it means we don't have to play Hero's Cape. Like, I feel like Grand Tree is really fun and really nice and helps with consistency a lot. So I really like it. We're also playing 1 copy of Roseanne's backup, where we can take an extra Mist Energy if we're seeing a lot of Dragon Ball, as well as our Grand Tree back, which is a really nice stadium to have in this deck. And our Reversal Energy, maybe instead of Mist Energy, depending on the matchup, we could take an extra Luxurious Cape back if we kind of just want that damage buff. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on in the deck. I tried to make it as simple as possible, which is pretty sweet. Actually, you know what I just realized? I think I said like 6 Rare Candies. I meant 5 if we played 4 Rare Candies, but we don't. We actually only played 3 Rare Candies. And I think my reasoning was, like, I think when I first built the deck, I didn't have Roseanne's backup in the deck, but when I put in Roseanne's, I took out a Rare Candy. So I think, like, I don't know if I'm set on it. I feel like 3 is okay. 4 is pretty nice too, but I don't know. I liked Roseanne's backup a lot. I feel like I never get to use the card, and I thought this is the type of deck where I could use it, because we don't need a lot of aggressive type supporters, since we've kind of just got a wall in play and we're telling our opponents to figure it out. If our opponent happens to have like a random Pokemon with Shred or something like that, we do play a copy of Lost City, just because sometimes there's like random Pokemon that get through this really well in a deck. Like maybe if we're playing against like Raging Bolt, it's the single prize Sandy Shock. So if you could just Lost City that and just put it away for the game, you pretty much just auto win after that. So that's kind of my, I feel like, quick synopsis of the deck. I don't think anything else is too crazy. I feel like most stuff is self-explanatory. Something I definitely would not change, but still, I think, work on for the future, because this deck actually, like, cooked a lot better than I thought, is the energy count. So I like Jet because, you know, Aegislash has a big retreat cost, and sometimes we need pivots. So I like the Jet energy. 2 Mist is essential when Dragon Ball is really popular. Reversal Energy, self-explanatory. It's just an attached swing with Aegislash if you're behind in prize cards. And then we're playing 1 Fighting, 2 Metal Energy, or 4 Metal Energy, excuse me. It's a low count of energy, but when you play 2 Earthen Vessel and a high Arven count, I feel like it's manageable and we don't need a lot of energy. And I feel like we need 2 Vessel just to ensure that we're getting the right energy at the right time. Like, we're getting 2 metal energy, we're getting a fighting energy and a metal energy if we're up against Charizard. Like, I like the 2 Vessel. I guess if you really wanted to hyper send this type of deck, like make it as consistent as possible, you would take out Ogerpon for more energy or maybe another consistency supporter, but I like the Ogerpon a lot. Charizard is very popular, and there's other decks that are also very ability focused. Obviously Charizard is just, I feel like, the most popular one, but Ogerpon I think is a nice wall behind while you still try to get with an Aegislash or 2, because Ogerpon is nice, but the thing about Aegislash, which is pretty sweet, is Dusknoir also can't one-shot it with its ability, so that really does help you out. Since it does 130 when it knocks itself out, we have 150, and I feel like a lot of decks like Dragapult, Dusknoir, Charizard play Dusknoir. You know, like there's a bunch of random decks out there that Terrapagos plays it. Aegislash can tank a hit or 2 from Dusknoir. It tanks 1. The second obviously would KO it, even with Luxurious Cape. So, you know, it's something to keep in mind. But this deck, I feel like overall, solid deck, way more consistent than I thought. I've wanted to make an Aegislash video for a very long time. This is actually one of my favorite cards ever, and I've brought it to locals, I think twice, like different versions of it a long time ago. But I feel like now is actually the best time for it. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend giving it a play. This list was a ton of fun. I like this list a lot. I don't know if there's too much I would change other than what I mentioned. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for tuning in. Let's get into today's match and see if we could go for a positive record with Aegislash. Welcome to match number 1. I wanted to start it a little early just to say, if you haven't seen any of my recent videos, I did get a TCG Player affiliate code, so if you want to support the channel in a small way, all you have to do is click the link in the description down below, which takes you to TCG Player to get singles, deck accessories, really anything for any card game, and as long as you order something within 48 hours of using my link, you'd support the channel in so many different ways. So thank you so much for anyone who used that code, and definitely go check it out if you haven't. It really just takes you to TCG Player. With that being said, let's get into today's video. So we are up against Applin. So I am leaning towards it being Hydrapple, because that's a new card that I feel like most people would play. Obviously, that also could be Festival Leads, which would be more of a problem for sure. Actually, what do I take? Yeah, I guess we would go Ogerpon here would be the safest choice, because Hydrapple or Festival Leads both get, like, hard countered by Ogerpon. Hydrapple gets destroyed by Aegislash, which is great, but that doesn't necessarily help against Festival Leads, and we get Colress's Tenacity, so that's awesome, except for the fact that we have Grand Tree in hand, and Lost City, so that actually, we're literally just going to be searching energy with it. That is a little annoying, but it's fine. So, what do I want to do here? I'm tempted to just put I feel like I have to put an energy on Honedge, but there's no great energy to put, because I only play 1 fighting energy, so I don't want to put that, and I really want to keep Tatsugiri in our active. Maybe I just play the Jet and just see what our opponent does. Let's do it, because if it's Festival Leads or Hydrapple, they have to take a turn to evolve, so I'm not opposed to just, you know, attaching the Jet, Colress's Tenacity for a metal energy, and then just moving on and just swinging every turn. The one thing that's nice about Festival Leads, if it happens to be that Kricketot, that's crazy. I feel like it has to be Hydrapple now. The one thing about Festival Leads, if you do match with it, because I don't think this is that deck, is Aegislash actually lives the double attack because we resist grass. So it is something super nice to keep in mind, and that's huge, our opponent just passing there. So we're gonna go Grand Tree, Pray It, and Prize, like 2 Doublade. If you haven't seen Grand Tree, I'm pretty sure I made a video on it, go check it out too, like before this, but you just get the middle evolution, evolve it, and then we just take the stage 2, and then just evolve that, and boom, we're ready to rumble at this point. So we are going to play Colress's Tenacity, take out a metal energy because we have our Lost City in hand, call it a day. And I know some people are probably thinking like, oh, why'd you do that? If it's Hydrapple, you're giving your opponent Hydrapple. Like, yes, I am, but if they evolve into Hydrapple, they can't attack my Aegislash. So like, okay, what are they gonna do? Like, I'm not too scared about that. And boom, that's gonna wrap it up for the world's easiest match number 1. And I mean, I feel like that's what happens so many times with this deck. You just jump into matches and it like doesn't matter, because you just play 1 Aegislash and your opponent is like, my god, I play 1 Canceling Cologne and this is an Aegislash deck. There's obviously going to be more than 1. Like, there's nothing they can do. It's just straight cope after that. So quick match number 1. Let's jump into match number 2, see if we can guarantee the positive record for the day. Welcome to match number 2. With a hand like this, I feel like this will happen a lot. It doesn't even matter that we led Ogerpon. Obviously, that helps depending on what deck we're playing against, which is probably Terrapagos if I had to take a guess based on who. But what's more important is that we do have Nest Ball and Iono for next turn, so we can get a Honedge out and hopefully evolve next turn pretty easily. So we did prize one Honedge, we prized a Doublade, and we prized an Aegislash. That's insane. We literally prized a whole line of it. Oh no, we have them in our hand. Never mind, we just prized a Honedge. Okay, that's fine. We prized a boss unless that's in the hand. No, it's not. Okay, what else? We got that. Do we have our ace spec? We prized Grand Tree. Okay, that's problematic because now we need Rare Candy Aegislash in hand to just evolve next turn. And we also prized the Metal Energy. Okay, there's actually a lot of really good things that are prized. That's not good at all. But we will make it work as best we can. So with this hand, I think they probably could attack this turn, like pretty easily. I'm going to throw Luxurious Cape on Honedge just to try to protect it as best as possible so I could get around hopefully just one Terrapagos attack if they somehow can get that in the active and swing. Although I feel like if they can do all that, they also probably have a big enough bench where they don't care, but I feel like need Noctowl to be evolved and whatnot. So this is definitely one of the harder matchups, I feel like, out of all the meta decks. Because Dusknoir can get around Aegislash's ability, but you need 2 Dusknoirs to KO 1 Aegislash. Actually, I'm cool with that Iono, because maybe that could help us get, like, Arven plus Rare Candy or Aegislash, something like that. And we get Ultra Ball Arven, that's perfect. That's all I needed. So now, and the Metal Energy too. It's actually, wow, that's huge. Because now I could take Rare Candy and Rescue Board to get Ogerpon out of the active, as well as use Ultra Ball to search out an Aegislash. So I am able to get an Aegislash down this turn, which is huge for us. And our opponent put a Fire Energy in the discard. Oh my god, wait, it's Regidrago. Oh no, this changes everything. Dude, what? Well, I much prefer this matchup. I didn't know they play Noctowl. Am I that rusty? No, dude, I've been playing the game a little bit more. What? I'm confused. Whatever. We'll see if they play Shred or anything. I mean, they definitely play Radiant Charizard. That's a little pesky because it one-shots us and we don't one-shot it. One-shots us at Aegislash, but they still can't do anything to Ogerpon. So, I don't know. I feel like this match is probably one of the best matches this deck has. Because if they want to evolve their Regidragos, they can't attack Ogerpon. If they don't evolve anything, they're not attacking for much, so our Ogerpon can live a hit or two. We can use that to also wall off Radiant Zard. Like, I don't know, I just feel like we have so many natural built-in counters to deal with this deck. I'm not too worried. So let's Arven now. Let's take out Rare Candy and Rescue Board. Thank you. I was going to say, please don't be prized. I would probably cry. So we can Ultra Ball away. I'm going to get rid of Cleffa and a Metal Energy. I'm going to keep Tatsugiri because that could be nice to go into at some point. I mean, I guess probably not because our Rescue Board is going down on the Ogerpon, but you never know when a card like that could clutch up, so I'm just gonna throw it. Keep it in the hand for now, so if I really do need to fall back onto it, I can. For now, we're just gonna retreat into Aegislash, a 250 HP Aegislash, swing for KO, and tell our opponent's entire bench, unless you play Canceling Clone right now, it's not happening. And even then, like, the only way they could one-shot this thing is if they actually use Giratina and Lost Zone 2 Energy, which puts them in an even more annoying spot because then they need to Legacy Star their Canceling Clone back while also getting enough energy to continuously keep attacking. So this is what I mean. And the fact that they evolved means Cornerstone Ogerpon just hangs that much better. So yeah, there's a lot that could help us out. And they Legacy Star, there is no Canceling Clone, so I know they play one. I know at some point they can get through a Aegislash. That's fine. As long as they don't play Canceling Cologne, get Legacy Star off after it, and then take back a second Canceling Cologne. Like, that's the one thing I am scared of, but even then, it's like, I'm not super worried about it. I do think we can probably work around it. So, what did they take here with Legacy Star? I do want to check that out. So, they took, oh, was it Carmine? Yeah, Carmine E-Switch. Okay, that makes sense. Just get them a hand and get some energy onto that Regidrago. It's going to be big for them. We'll see if they play some more Shred, or, you know, maybe their Canceling Cologne is prized. Maybe it's not on the deck. I mean, we prize a lot of good things, I feel like. So, you know, it's possible. But we'll see what they can do. We will see what they can do. What else did they get Pokemon-wise in the discard? They got Holucha. They got Haxorus. Ooh. Well, that's fine, because we have Mist Energy. So, you know what? That's actually okay. But I did forget about that. I guess that's something to be careful of, with, like, the Reversal Energy and the Jet Energy. I probably won't play those at all anymore. Just because I don't want to get, like, forget about Haxorus and then get KO'd. But as long as we have Mist Energy down, Haxorus still does nothing, so it's cool. Unless they play Temple of Sinnoh, which they also might. Then that could be dangerous. And boom, that is concede number 2 in no time at all. So we are guaranteed positive record with a super fun deck. And between both games, we've only attacked what? Or did we actually get an attack off last game? I don't even know if we did. Either way, we've attacked twice, max, and we've won 2 games. I'd say that's pretty good. Let's get into match number 3. See if we can get the perfect record for today in 0 time. That would be awesome. Oh my gosh, let's get into it. Welcome to match number 3. I have a feeling this might be Palkia with Rare Candy for Dusknoir and Water Energy. I'm not 100% sure. I still am, like, trying to figure out the entirety of the Stellar Crown format, because although I've played it and I've definitely kept up with, like, tournaments and what decks are doing well overall and stuff, I'm not familiar with, like, the exact 60s like I normally am. And if you haven't seen the last podcast episode, check it out, because I do explain why I think me and Avery and a few of my other friends and other people I know have been having some trouble with it. Or just, like, playing competitively right now. So, why do I feel like we started Ogerpon all 3 games? Oh my gosh. We actually might have, now that I think about it. We legitimately might have started Ogerpon all 3 games. That is insane. We played 1 Ogerpon. So for now, I'm gonna take, I guess, just double Honedge and rock with this. I'm really tempted to just throw the reversal down just to get a reversal energy down. Like on a Honedge and hope our opponent takes a K. I don't know. I might actually even just hold it. It doesn't really help us. I really want to keep that for when we need it. And if Aegislash locks out our opponent's Pokemon, it locks out our opponent's Pokemon. There's nothing they can do about it. So I'm going to keep the hand. The reason I didn't play Nest Ball, if you're wondering why, is because I want to wait for next turn. I could take it for a Tatsugiri to try to get a different supporter next turn. I could take a Pidgeot if I top deck like Arven, let's say, and I could just Arven for Force Seal Stone. So I'm not sure what the perfect card to take with Nest Ball was, because nothing benefited us, like, immediately in the moment. So let's see what they got. It's Greninja EX. Okay, hey, look. Aegislash Walls Greninja. Maybe it's, like, Pidgeot Control or something like that, because they got Dusknoir as well. But Dusknoir, I feel like, usually isn't in Pidgeot Control, from what I know. And no, it just seems to be a straight Greninja deck. Okay, so I think this is going to be similar to how we would play, again, Greninja Palkia. I like it. Actually, I like it a lot. This is going to be similar. I wasn't totally wrong with the Palkia deck. It's not the type of Palkia I was thinking, but I was pretty close. The Rare Candy threw me off, but I figured Dusknoir would be in here. So, if they've got Palkia, Greninja, and Dusknoir, chances are they're playing like a 2-1-1 line of Dusknoir, maybe a 2-1-2 line or something like that. I can't imagine the Dusknoir line would be super heavy, because there is that Palkia line as well. So, our Aegislashes should have a pretty decent time hanging on. Also, sorry, like, Happy just jumped up behind my leg, so it scared me a little bit if I was, like, looking down or something. Just, like, caught me off guard. So, I completely lost my train of thought with my cat, like, attacking me. So our opponent's gonna motivate here, which is pretty smart. I mean, they could see we're not playing a fast deck, we're not playing an aggressive deck. They could totally take time to set up, and they're gonna try to set up Greninja to get the bench attack, which makes the most sense because they're gonna want to attack us super, super fast as well, and take out 2 of our Pokemon. But we can at least evolve both, which should be pretty huge. So I actually don't even know if I want a Buddy-Buddy Poffin right now. I guess I could get like Tatsugiri down, but I actually kind of want them to take a KO so I could use Reversal Energy. So maybe, I don't know. What do I want to do? I want to Ultra Ball away. Definitely Aegislash. I like Colress's Tenacity if we have Grand Tree. So you know what? I might just get rid of Nest Ball here. I feel like Nest Ball is the most cuttable card because I could take Tatsugiri with this, which is big. And if I don't get Pidgeot right now, I don't get Pidgeot right now. Like, we don't have a way to get Force Seal Stone anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm definitely going to take Aegislash. Let me also check if we had the Pidgeot. We prized Grand Tree. Okay, so that's really bad for us. But we have Force Seal Stone, so that's really important to note as well. Okay. That actually makes things a lot more difficult. I think with that then, I could go Corollus's Tenacity. Let me just take out, like, Lost City and a Metal Energy, I guess. Because then we could just Rare Candy evolve 1 Honedge. And that's decent. That's decent enough for now. Yeah, actually, no, this is still kind of a difficult spot. I kind of want to just throw the Reversal Energy here. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out, like, what the best play is, and I think this is it. So the reason I put the Reversal Energy on Aegislash, what I imagine my opponent's next play is they're going to retreat Squawk ability, they're going to evolve Froakie into Greninja EX, they're going to swing with the bottom attack and do 120 on our active and 120 on our bench, KOing our Honedge, which will then put us behind in prizes, allowing Aegislash to swing for decent damage into Greninja EX, and I think that would be the best play for us. There as to Duskull. Okay, so they definitely play a Duskull line. This is scary. Are they gonna Star Portal for 1? No, they're not, because they're gonna get minimum 2 energy. They get rid of Vacuum. That's so big, because if we can somehow get a tool, get that Luxurious Cape down, that legitimately might save us. So that's sweet. Definitely not complaining about that. I'm curious to see how our opponent deals with the rest of this. They're going to Iono us, giving us New Hand. I am totally okay with that. I liked having Lost City to try to get those Duskull lines into the Lost Zone, but it's binned for now, and that's fine. I'll cope. So we'll see what our opponent gets. It's going to be 3 items. Of course it is. Of course their Pokestop would hit the nuts. And we are going to get absolutely cooked and lose our Honedge if they use the bottom attack. But they would have to discard 2 energy, so, you know, it kind of puts more energy in discard. I don't know. I guess we could deal with it. We'll figure this out somehow. I don't know totally how we're going to, but we will. And Luxurious Cape is going to be nice because it makes Aegislash a 2-prizer, but it means our opponent has to use Dusknoir to do 130 on Aegislash, and then find Canceling Cologne and use Canceling Cologne with Greninja EX to swing for KO on Aegislash. So I'm not complaining about it at all. And we don't get really anything I wanted to see. Okay, so, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What do I want to do here? Arven. I almost want Arven for like another Rare Candy. Our final Rare Candy. That's bad. Maybe go Forest Seal Stone. Because I have the Nest Ball, so I could get Pidgeot next turn. Dude, we don't have an energy, do we? Not the right type of energy. Okay. Yeah. Maybe we would just do that. Because then next turn I could Arven for... What do I want to do? I would Arven for probably Earthen Vessel and Rescue Board or Forest Seal Stone, depending on if I want to use Pidgeot now or the turn after. Although, actually, you know what? We're taking a tool now, so I might as well just take Rescue Board and just try to make it as awkward as possible immediately. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. So we're going to get 2 Aegislash in play. We are going to throw the Mist Energy onto this guy, and we're going to Rescue Board retreat into him as well. Kind of forcing these Dusknoirs to go live this turn. I'm also going to throw the Cape on our active. I don't mind giving up 2 prizes here if it means we've got more time to set up and our opponent had to get rid of a Dusknoir line just to kind of swing through our active. And we're also going to see if they have Canceling Clone in hand now, because I don't think they would play 2. I can't imagine a world where our opponent would play 2 Canceling Clone in a deck like this. Although, you know what? I guess they do have a lot of bench snipe potential, so maybe they do. I don't know. Double Night Stretcher is annoying for sure. And you know what? They got 11 cards left, actually. We could try to force this game to deck out, which is a legit, like, win con with this deck. Because we play a very slow game, and it's a very like turbo-focused, fast-paced meta. We legitimately force so many decks into deck out because we could have won by prizes, but we just didn't have enough time. Our opponent tried playing the game, and they used 50 cards by their 3rd turn. So, you know, you kind of just end up in a scenario like this. And the more cards they play, the more cards that are out of their deck. So, you know what? I'm not even that mad about our opponent just playing through and really trying to fly through the rest of their deck here. I actually kind of encourage more cards to be played right now. So they're going to Night Stretcher back who? Do they have a Dusknoir in or something? They do. Okay, so they had the Dusknoir, which they took. They evolved into Dusclops. It's not going to help them. They're going to need Rare Candies, but I guess... Oh, never mind. They're going to Curse Blast anyways. Okay. That's interesting. I thought they would have taken Dusknoir. Oh, that makes sense. They're going to KO, put damage here, and then they're going to try to boss up Ogerpon. That's fine, actually, because if you're not putting damage counters on Aegislash, we've got more time to just vibe. So I'm really okay with that. How much HP do we have left? We got 160, so they need Counter Catcher. Okay, I was going to say they need Counter Catcher or Boss, but they played Irida to take out our Ogerpon, and they are going to do it. Get Shinobi Blade. So they can take Canceling Cologne and swing through and KO our Aegislash, which would be a little problematic, but... We got Earthen Vessel out of the prizes, so we're able to get 2 Metal Energy out, which is perfect, because that means our Aegislashes are going to be live now. And we have another Luxurious Cape in the deck, so we could beef these 2 guys up, which is 6 prizes even, which is all our opponent needs to win, but to be fair, that's also, like, the beefiest we could get, and their vacuum is sitting right here in the discard pile, so that is pretty huge for us. I could play Rod. I don't think Rod is going to help us too much. Although, to be fair, neither is Nest Ball. Oh, no, I'll keep Nest Ball because we kind of might need it for Pidgeot. I don't plan on using Rod at this point. We kind of just have everything we need to finish out the game as best as we can. So I'm going to smack the energy on the active. I am also going to Arven for probably Luxurious Cape. And what other item would I want? I have no idea. Could do Counter Catcher, actually. Take out the Duskull right now. That might be our best play. They didn't use Star Portal, so Greninja is kind of a threat, but we're still really beefy. But I'm more scared of Duskull. They're not going to recycle energy to set up Greninja that many times in a row. I feel like it would be easier for us to deal with Greninja when they're hitting us like 18 times. If I could just take out their one Duskull right now and tell them to cope, I feel like that's best. We'll see if they play Canceling Cologne. But if they play Canceling Cologne, they also need Dusknoir again. And they have to, like, you know, get their Dusclops back and everything, and then take another turn to evolve it. So this is fine. This is the slow game, and that's okay. We saw 2 really fast games. Our opponent didn't want to deal with it at all. Now we're going to see a much more slow, played-out Aegislash game. And there's a lot of different ways you could run this deck and play it. I'm surprised they got rid of... Oh, no, I'm not surprised they got rid of Pheasantipity. Why would they play that? They'll have no cards in their deck. Which is fine for us, but not for them. So, yeah, we'll see what they got. How many Night Stretchers are they down? That's going to be big. They're down 3. They might play 4. They have another... Wow, they play 3 Duskulls? Okay, so they're really leaning into the Dusknoir line here. That means they probably play, what? Like a 3-1-2 line of Dusclops to Dusknoir or something like that? I don't know. Maybe a 3-2-3? I feel like that's too heavy, but I don't know. We'll see. And they're going to Iono, give us a new hand, which is a shame because we had Arven and energy in hand. And now we got Pidgeot Forest Seal Stone, which is essentially a Nest Ball, which is... sorry, too many thoughts in my brain. Oh my god, there's Prime Catcher. It doesn't matter. We're fine. We had Arven Nest Ball in hand, which we wanted for Pidgeot Forest Seal Stone, which was what we were Iono'd into. Oh my god, I cannot talk. I'm sorry, I had a long day at work. So now I'm just apparently a mess with talking, and there is a good chance that I am going to Pidgeot V, I'm going to use Forest Seal Stone for a just basic, regular, degular metal energy and just try to keep the attacking pressure up. So our opponent, I would assume, would Star Portal here, get the 3 energy onto Greninja, put 90 damage on both of our active Pokemon, both of our Pokemon in play. But we'll see what else they got. There's no way you got another Duskull, right? There's no way. I can't see that happening. Or many rare candies to even get them evolved. No, you got 2 rare candies left max. So we'll see what you got. I don't know if it's going to be enough. You probably still have a Canceling Cologne. There is still a world where our opponent definitely kind of beats us out here, but we'll see. I mean, they just looked through their last 7 cards. There's a chance they might concede here if they don't have enough for Dusknoir and maybe Canceling Cologne is prize. Yeah, there it is. I mean, they might not even play Canceling Cologne because they have such a heavy Dusknoir line. I feel like that's something you would cut for Dusknoir because it goes around Mimikyu, goes around Ogerpon, goes around Aegislash, you know, so... There is a good chance our opponent didn't play it, and that is going to be a super quick, super easy, super straightforward Aegislash showcase. I mean, this deck cooks. I mean, this might be one of the most evil decks out there. I am so excited because I feel like at long last, Aegislash finally has this, like, epic place to shine in the format, because I think, like, just Control-esque decks are in an amazing spot right now. You know, you got Stall, Iron Thorns, Pidgeot, Control doing amazing. And if there's a place for those decks, there is a legitimate place for Aegislash. And I feel like when you sack the Pidgeot line, you get rid of your prize liabilities, and you just kind of sit there and tell your opponent, hey, so this is what I've got going on. You've either got a way around this or you don't. So I really like this deck. I think it's a super fun list. I would definitely give the list a go. You kind of saw in that last game, energy is a little scary and sometimes hard to figure out. So that's the one thing I would look into, maybe figuring out a new or different line of. But I like my energy count. I still got the job done and went 3-0 today. So, you know, it worked. We're vibing. So yeah, just to reiterate again, if you're using TCG Player for any singles, click my link down below. Support the channel. I appreciate all the support on just all my videos in general. If you haven't seen the Battle VIPs podcast, go check it out. It is an epic podcast where when I first started the channel, a lot of people wanted a meta review, and I do my meta review on the podcast. So even if you just watch the first half and listen to like what me and my friends think the top 7 decks and top rogue decks and top tech cards are in the format, definitely go check out the podcast, give it a listen. It's great to see just how much people support the channel even now that I've toned it back a little bit since I started grad school. So just, I am forever appreciative and just absolutely in love with my whole community and how much you guys support me and build me up. Like, it really means the world to me, and I appreciate you guys so much. So thank you for watching. I hope I get to see you guys in the future. I hope you guys get to join in on the streams that I'm going to start doing again. So yeah, with that being said, stay epic. Peace.